How's it going, you sexy beasts? I got a pretty awesome rifle to review for you guys today. It is the SABR-13, the Terran Republic's medic assault rifle that wields a pretty unique feature of firing in 2-round bursts. This weapon is very original, as there's no other weapon in the game that functions the same way as this. Closest comparison I could make was the new conglomerate's Reaper DMR, where both of these weapons are designed to give the medic class a very long killing range. Even if this rifle is absolutely awesome, it takes some getting used to the different fire mode and overall handling. But without further ado, let's talk about this badass rifle, the SABR-13. Starting off with this rifle, honestly, was pretty rough. I acquired it and expected the weapon to be just an amazing gun right out of the box. That, sadly enough, is not the case. You really have to put some time into using it to unlock some attachments to handle this beast, but once you do, it really begins to shine as a powerhouse. The SABR is designed more like a designated marksman rifle with the range in mind. It fires in 2-round bursts as opposed to the commonly found 3-round burst weaponry. This allows the user to land 2 rounds on target in quick succession, with a minimal recoil felt between the first and second bullet fired in each burst. I assume the weapon is designed like the AN-94, where 2 bullets are fired before the user even feels the recoil. But that's not the case with the SABR. The first round will more than likely cause the second to land slightly above your intended target, so aiming center mass will be more beneficial than aiming for the head, as the recoil will lead that second round up toward the neck of the target. The main thing that I needed to do to actually grasp the true power of this rifle was to just plain and simply learn how to use it. I was using it exclusively in both CQC and at range, and in doing so, this taught me how to engage targets differently at changing ranges, all while using the 2-round burst to my advantage. Alrighty, so what are the actual statistics behind the SABR-13? First off, it fires a rate of 600 rounds per minute, which is slightly higher than the new conglomerate Reaper DMR's rate of fire of 500 rounds per minute. Every bullet fired from the SABR deals 167 damage, and since the rifle fires in 2-round bursts, it's essentially dealing 334 damage per pull of the trigger. This gives the weapon a 6-bullet kill, or more simply, a 3-burst kill. Since the weapon fires at 600 rounds per minute and drops targets in 6 bullets, the total time to kill is 0.6 seconds, or with a realistic time to kill of 1.8 seconds if taking into consideration the average accuracy of players, which is about 30%. This time to kill is pretty on par with other assault rifles. The magazine size of the SABR is a pretty standard 30 rounds with another 150 in the reserve. This yields a total of 5 potential kills per magazine, and yet another 25 from your ammunition reserve. Reload speed of this gun with the rounds still left in the chamber is 2.425 seconds, and with a completely empty magazine, with a round voided from the chamber, you're looking at a longer reload of 3.2 seconds. Both of these reload times are actually faster than the default Terran Republic assault rifle, but slightly longer than the Reaper DMR's reload speed. The vertical recoil pull of this rifle is 0.35 degrees and pulls horizontally to both the left and the right. The first shot recoil multiplier is 1.4 times, meaning the first bullet fired in a series will kick just a bit harder. So since this gun fires in 2-round bursts, the first shot will kick almost twice as hard as the one following. The projectile velocity of rounds fired from the SABR move at a speed of 620 meters per second, which is a lot faster than the Reaper DMR's bullet velocity. So, with all those numbers in mind, how exactly do we fight with this gun, and more importantly, how do we fight well with it? This is answered pretty simply. Remove from the weapon that hinders it the most. The biggest drawback to using this weapon properly is the horizontal recoil it sports. There's been many times where I'll line up my shot perfectly, but since the first shot fired causes the muzzle to track up and to the right, the second round of the burst will go whizzing off past the target. Getting the forward grip is a must with this rifle. There is literally no other rail attachment that is worth getting that complements this weapon so well. And luckily for us, the advanced foregrip is also allowed for use of this gun, which is also a much needed attachment after you've gotten the first tier of the forward grip. Now that horizontal recoil has been virtually removed, this gun begins to show its true colors. You can line up targets 40 to 7 meters away very easily and hit pretty reliably too. With the ability to reach out at such a far range, the sights are pretty slim. In the video footage, I was running a 2x reflex sight just to learn how to use the gun and engage at any range. But if you're serious with using this gun exclusively, then I highly suggest grabbing either the 3.4x crosshair sight or even a 4x scope. This will allow the Saber to really shine at longer ranges and possibly make for some sweet headshot action too. On the barrel attachments, there's only one true attachment that fills the role that the Saber needs, and that is the Compensator. Since we have the forward grip, all horizontal recoil is eliminated. Now we just need to try and tame that vertical recoil, and that's where the Compensator comes into play. Keeping the vertical recoil to a minimum will make sure that both rounds fired per burst hit their intended target, rather than going slightly above them. The drawback to the Compensator is the reduced hipfire accuracy, which we shouldn't have to worry about since the Saber is built more like a DMR than an assault rifle. With the Compensator on the barrel of this rifle, it's like night and day with how much recoil is actually dropped off that first round fired per burst. You'll be landing 3 burst kills left and right just due to how controllable this rifle has become. Last but not least, we have access to the high velocity ammunition. This increases the velocity of the rounds fired from the weapon that it's loaded into, but also increases the vertical recoil by about 10%. This is honestly a matter of preference, but you should grab it if you're having difficulty leading targets or having trouble with a bullet drop. How about the price tag for this beast? It's a tier 4 weapon, meaning its base cert cost is 1,000 certification points or 700 station cash. Toss on the forward grip for your rail attachment and its advanced version, which is 100 certs each for a total of 200 certs. Next up is your sight of choice, be it the 2x reflex, the 3.4x or 4x scope for another 30 certification points. For the barrel attachment, we'll grab the Compensator for yet another 100 certification points. Last but not least, the optional high velocity ammunition for another 100 certification points. So that comes to a grand total of 1,330 certification points in order to get the SABR-13 completely battle ready with rail, barrel, and sight attachments as well as the loaded ammunition. This is a very high costly weapon, but is totally worth it when fully loaded, as there is no other weapon that acts like this in any way. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Terran Republic SABR-13 Assault Rifle. It blends the power of a DMR with a unique fire mode found solely in this rifle. It fills an interesting role in the battlefield, but can be a very strong weapon at nearly any range if equipped and used properly. So thank you guys so very much for watching, and thank you guys so much for being completely and totally awesome. You guys got an idea for the next weapon review? Go ahead and drop a line in the comment section below, or just confess to us all that it was you who stole the cookie from the cookie jar. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and let me know what I can improve on. Want to see more videos like these in the future? Go ahead and subscribe. It's free.